Hey?
No, just here. We'll just.
It's titled Brooke. Brooke
Foreheads.
is what is the title?
Foreheads.
Brooke is back.
Strikes back.
Oh, Brooke strikes back, just like the Emperor strikes back.
Forehead.
All right, just the top of your hair right there. Now, well, definitely live now. But what's going on, everybody? So here with Brooke today in the house. She is graciously offering us her assistance again, and she only wants to show her forehead apparently right now.
Well,
so...
you're doing the talking.
Oh, well, what if I'm like this? Then now everyone has to look at something,
they can
right?
See me with my noodles.
So okay, so I'm gonna be doing some Dubia Roach stuff. For right now, but Brooke is going to be answering questions and just helping you guys out.
And eating ramen.
So what's going on, Josh?
I need a snack break after just finishing.
Yeah, she finished a lot of geckos. She finished like all of these geckos here. So very thankful for Brooke. But real quick, if anyone did email me or send me questions that you're waiting up for a response back, just please give me till later tonight. Later tonight, I'm going to get to my emails and social media questions. But for now, take advantage of Brooke being here. Ask her questions. Ask us questions. I'm going to be working on some Dubia Roach stuff, and Brooke's gonna kind of take the reins here.
Hello, I'm hungry.
So you'll see, it takes a second kind of for things to get going a lot of times.
Hi, Josh.
And I do need to... Yeah, Josh I know pretty good communication-wise.
Check my phone, see if I got the notification for the live stream. I haven't been getting them lately for some reason, and I don't know why.
You should get it. Are you even belled to us?
Yeah, I know. I get videos. Notifications.
I don't know.
Yep, he gave me the live notification. Cool, we exist.
You want to see yourself?
No.
You can see how well
I can already see myself. I don't want to see myself more.
Coming through.
Hi, Mikey.
All right, I'm gonna get the roach stuff real quick.
He's got to do roach stuff because selling dubias. Oh, I have a leopard gecko egg that is going on 65 days and hasn't hatched. Is there anything that I should be concerned about? Well, have you candled the egg? That's the first thing. Are you sure it's fertile? Second thing, I mean, they can go a couple days off. This kind of goes back to like the first or second stream that I was on, because we talked about tearing an egg open if it goes too long. But that's not something that we practice yet. Hold on. Of course he leaves. I actually, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's 60 days for incubation, so 5 days extra probably isn't that big of a deal, I hope. Let's see. Is moving in the egg. Gecko egg that's been incubated for 65 days, and the gecko is moving in the egg.
Yeah, that gecko's ready to pop.
So I would honestly go get the egg and tear the egg right now. I want to know if you tear the egg, if the gecko is going to survive or not.
Yeah, that's not crazy advice.
It's at 65 days, and the gecko keeps moving in the egg. It could be trying to get out, but it doesn't have an egg tooth.
It could, and this is the catch-22 is, what if it's not fully developed yet? Or what if it's not,
but they said,
just taking longer?
They candled the egg, and the leopard gecko is moving in the egg. Why would a gecko be moving in the egg?
Embryos do move.
Not fully developed.
Even, very, like
65 days, though?
But a lot younger embryo, yes. I mean, by 65 days, that gecko's ready to pop. There's a good chance that if you pop...
That's what I'm saying. It's 65 days.
Right, but you never know, though. It's a risk either way, right? It's a risk that you lose the gecko not popping it, but it's also a risk that you lose the gecko popping it. You have more experience than popping than me because, all the geckos that I've... what's the name? That were past 65 days... The embryo was undeveloped. So by the time I opened the egg, it was undeveloped. It was never even close to hatching, But I know you've hatched some geckos.
Well, PHS never put dates on anything.
Yeah. Plus,
so we never got to know.
I just heard this too from ball python breeders. If the snake has what's called shark mouth, where it has an overbite, the top jaw comes over the bottom jaw. It's usually the bottom jaw that has the little egg tooth.
My noodles!
Tell them why you're not going to name an animal Noodles.
Okay, okay, so some of you probably know I like to name the geckos, which we have more names for you. But when I was making my ramen and I was putting the water,
about killing. Killing the noodles.
I put too much water and I said drown the noodles. And then it hit me that now I can't name any geckos noodles because I don't want to kill a gecko. So, no noodles. Let's see. We have a hi bro from J Chameleons de Velo.
Oh, real quick. On that cutting one that you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Another option that the person has. So if you want to listen to Brooke and cut it open, I know she's done that before. But it can be a risky scenario cutting an egg open if it's underdeveloped. So what you can do too is rub the egg. Like if this was like if this was the egg, you would tickle it like this and keep tickling it a couple times a day, for a day or two. And that's another option.
Yeah, I know it's dark. A lot of things I say turn out to be accidentally dark.
Oh, like drowning the noodle.
Yeah, that's what they said is dark. Drowning the noodles. So who wants to hear all the names that I've come up with?
I'm sure everybody does.
I typed them out. I've got a list. If there's any of them that you want to see, comment the name, and I will try and show them. But I figured there's too many names now.
List?
Yeah, there's too many names now. I tell people about it. So ready? Oh wait, I gotta add one more because we got that one. Okay, here we go. This isn't by naming order, it's just by what I typed it in. So we have Candy Corn, Boba, Lego, Techna, Pixel, Flip, Daisy, Shrimp, Bubbles, Natsume, Nelliel, Cantaloupe, Honeydew, Crow, Peaches, Cream, Cookie, Plum, Meringue, Streusel, Cam, Poppy, and Sunny.
And we had something sad happen with Nelliel.
Yeah, sadly, Nelliel passed away.
Just randomly.
Yeah, we went to check on her today and she...
Over the last, what is that, 3 days?
Yeah, I was here Thursday and I named her Thursday.
And changed her everything. Or, upgraded her stuff.
He said he's been tickling the egg for the past 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
so.
It might be time.
Honestly, 65 days is not super long. There's been leopard geckos that have even hatched at 85 days from people that I've talked to. So this choice is up to you. It is something that I would like to see more leopard gecko breeders in the community talk about if they've cut their eggs before. I know you said you cut an egg, right?
Yes, and they survived.
At what date?
PHS didn't mark their eggs. I just know the clutch mate had hatched out like 4 days before.
And when you cut the egg, did the gecko have the umbilical cord still attached to the yolk sac that it still needed to absorb?
Yes, I believe so. This was over a year ago now.
So,
and they did reabsorb it because they turned out to be perfectly healthy.
Yeah. And
got big fast.
Now, another thing, too, is like, how big is the embryo that you're looking at right now? If it's fully black in there, then that gecko is really close to hatching. I know we all get like super anxious around the gecko hatching, but this is a tough one because if you cut the egg open and the gecko's a little bit premature, it still hasn't absorbed its yolk yet, you could potentially open up the gecko to unnecessary risk. But on the other hand, if the gecko for some reason can't get out, like its egg tooth is missing or it has an overbite and its egg tooth is not able to rip the eggshell to get out, these are rare things, but they can happen. Then obviously you might lose the gecko that way too. So this decision kind of is up to you because I'm not an egg cutter for leopard geckos. I don't know if there's enough really like documented research out there on like what day to cut, the pros of cutting versus the cons of cutting, but that is something that I would like to see more people in the leopard gecko community talk about. So as Brooke and I gain more awareness about cutting in leopard gecko eggs, then we'll talk more about it. But for now, I would hate to tell you to cut it and then you cut it, and then you wind up like for some reason the baby's premature, you cut some blood vessels or whatever the case is, and things just go bad, right? So
Yeah, I don't actually cut them. I just pinch it with my fingers and pull it.
yeah, you could
like a
pinch,
bag of
yeah.
chips.
The eggs are kind of small, so it can be tough. Sometimes you might need like little scissors, but Apex. I'm gonna throw some of these roaches real quick. I'll be back.
Dang, apparently there's a lot of do not cut eggs on mine. So I guess there's a lot of things online saying don't cut the eggs open. I've done it before and haven't had an issue, but I only did it once, so let me see some of those black. What temp do you incubate at for males? That's like 90, right?
I prefer to incubate between 88 to 89.
88 to 89 for males.
Yeah, if you go above 90, like if you start hitting 91 and above, it's thought that you will get something called a hot female, which is a female that has aggression issues and fertility issues.
Oh.
I've never done this personally in my own collection. I've never incubated at 91 to like confirm that and document that. But there are a lot of experienced breeders that have documented that like on their websites. So you might want to do a Google search real quick about like hot female leopard geckos. But if you want males, you want to try to incubate as close to 89 degrees would be my recommendation as possible. You want to try not to go below 88. And you want to try not to go above 90. So as close to 89 as possible would be great.
I named the rat Ratview.
Oh, is that what you chose?
Ratview. And they asked to see a black knight, I'm assuming. I thought that said black Iggy at first, but I was like, we don't have iguanas. So I'm assuming it's a black knight.
Be super careful with those because as small as they are, I don't want them losing their tail. Black Knights can come out...
I'm not going to touch him. I'm just going to point the camera at him.
Black Knights can come out a little bit smaller. You know what I mean? Since they've... I was like, this guy's actually growing pretty good. He's
I was
like...
just making sure there wasn't a clutch mate.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Okay, flip.
And you can like hold him on your hand. Just
no, I'm
careful
not going to touch
he's
him.
really
He's very baby.
Flighty.
He's very baby. Ready, guys? This is Boba.
Why is he named Boba again?
Because he's a black knight. He was the first black knight we got out. So Boba.
But what does that have to do with Boba?
Because Boba is black.
What is Boba? Boba is black? I guess that's where the confusion's coming in. What is Boba?
It's a tapioca pro.
And it's black?
So my egg seems to be growing. I know you said you don't check them after you incubate them, but is it bad to be checking it every couple days? Well, if you keep opening the incubator, then you're going to lose the temperatures you're trying to have in there.
Right. And that's really...
Baby Boba. Very, so you can tell that person small.
It's not bad to check the egg every couple of days, but at the same time, you have to make sure that
okay, bye.
You're not losing the heat that you want that egg to be incubated at. So, for example, my house is like, let's just say 75 degrees, and the incubator is set at 80 degrees, right? Every time I open that incubator, the incubator's dropping to about 75 degrees. And when you close the door, the incubator needs to reheat to that 80 degrees. So if you're talking about females, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're opening the incubator for males, it's a huge deal because it takes a lot more heat to reheat the incubator to 88 to 89 degrees than it does to reheat the incubator to 80 degrees, right? So from 75 to 80 degrees is a very short amount of heating time. But from 75 to 89 degrees, that's a huge span, and it's going to take a little time for that incubator to get back to the proper temperature. That's your main risk.
And then from Apex Geckos, what is Mandarin Tangerine? Honestly, that makes me think of the little Mandarin Oranges fruit cups that I used to have as a kid.
Yeah. So if you actually search like leopard gecko, mandarin, tangerine history, there's probably some articles on it. I don't actually know the history off the top of my head, but in general, the mandarin, tangerine, leopard gecko is a specific line of tangerine that is known for good quality orange. Just like Inferno is known for good quality orange, Blood is known for good quality orange. Each of them are thought to have a little bit of a different skew. Like the Blood tangerine is thought to be a little bit more like darker orange, sometimes even like kind of reddish.
They're making fun of me for my noodles.
Noodle, noodle, noodle. So yeah, Mandarin tangerine though is just another line of tangerine. But be careful because nowadays, if somebody marks something a Mandarin tangerine, it might be outcrossed for many generations. And it doesn't mean that just because it says Mandarin, it doesn't mean that it's very good quality. But back in the day when tangerines were getting started, Mandarin was like one of the top quality tangerines. And if you can find a good Mandarin from a good reputable breeder, they're still good quality tangerines. But just be careful. Don't buy because of the name. Buy because of the looks. And also ask to see the parents. Like if you buy something as a baby where you don't know the full color potential of that baby, and it's kind of like a yellowish orange, ask to see a picture of the mom and the dad. That will allow you to know the chances of what the baby's going to look like.
I got to meet my albino leopard gecko's parents. I got to hold both of them. The mom was a Tremper, and the dad was a Tremper. He was huge, and the mom was a Super Snow.
Oh, really?
Or no, Max Snow. Max Snow, not a Super Snow. My bad.
You like Super Snows now?
Yes, I do. So, how many years has it took you to get the Black Knight pretty cool?
So I didn't create the Black Knight line, but it took the original breeder. It took the original breeder about 10 years to produce the darkness that he has now. And I did have a short conversation with the original breeder. He started 2 initial lines. So he started this dark line and this dark line so that it was separate bloodlines. And then he would cross those lines together to create the Black Knight to try to diversify the bloodline and eliminate genetic defect or genetic risk, which is, one of the reasons that we don't, just one of the reasons that we don't inbreed as human beings is because a brother and sister, they share a lot of overlapping defects in their DNA. So same thing with a leopard gecko. Each sibling, because they come from the same parents, they share the same genetic defects and whatnot that the parents might have. And so as each generation goes on deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into inbreeding, there's higher chances of those genetic defects popping out. So that's why he used 2 lines.
About Super Snows, I believe.
But we just got our Black Knights last year. And we're also crossing our Black Knights into many other different bloodlines to keep those bloodlines fresh and defects down.
Ow, my foot.
Just FYI, that's a little bit of a much water.
I didn't do that one. Or I don't think I did. It's a lot of water in there. I was thinking the same thing. I don't remember putting that much in there.
Just FYI, Noodles. That'll be your nickname now, Noodles.
No!
I'm sorry, that's it.
But that means you want to drown me.
I'll never let that live you live. No,
So,
it's not me wanting to drown you. It's me letting you know.
Somebody was like, Frank is talking. Brooke, slurp, slurp. That's some nice noodles.
Brooke, slurp, slurp. Frank's talking. You better go, I don't know.
This baby was being cute, so I grabbed it out. Hello, Fred. Look
Brooke is friends with all the geckos, which is why she can't name them.
So cute.
Noodles. Just so that you don't name any gecko Noodles, we will nickname you Noodles. So that it never...
I will find a new internship.
I will find a new internship.
Why does the Super Snow morph grow out slower than other morphs?
Honestly, my Super Snows don't grow slower, but I did talk to somebody recently that said way back in the day when Super Snows were originally created, there were some genetic defects and some genetic problems that the Super Snows had. And so that might be why you're experiencing a little bit of slow growth is when you're taking one snow gene and combining it with another snow gene, creating the Super Snow, there might be something in that gecko's DNA complex, that is that challenges like the best level of health, that was more popular back in the day. I was talking to somebody, a lot of Super Snows had health problems back in the day. Today, I don't see any super snows with health problems. Like me personally, all the super snows we have here are perfectly fine. A lot of other breeders I know are perfectly fine. I think that's because as time went on, the snow gecko was outcrossed more and more to a variety of geckos and different genetics, which is the benefit of outcrossing. And therefore, the snow gene is much, much cleaner nowadays. So,
I changed out the paper because too much water.
thank you. I appreciate that. Noodles. Oh, sorry, that was mean.
I don't appreciate that.
I don't appreciate.
Thank you so much. I've been looking at tangerines on Morph Market recently, and a beautiful mandarin blood tangerine was posted. I was curious. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if it looks beautiful, when it comes to tangerine, because tangerine is a line bred trait, you definitely want to go for looks over name. Name is not important. What is important is visual quality and looks.
Should I start pulling out some of the tangerines?
Yeah, we got some nice tangerines. We could show them off.
Are we gonna start with cantaloupe?
Start with cantaloupe. Wait, what's your favorite one?
I like cantaloupe.
Honeydew was
Honeydew was the sassy one today. I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's see, Cameron said, "Hey Frank, I can see lots of movement in my leopard gecko eggs when I candle them. Is that a sign that they are going to hatch soon?"
It's a sign. It's a sign that they're getting ready to hatch. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it's possible for tangerine snooper snow eclipse? I don't think those two morphs would go well together.
No, and here's why. Now,
the genetics.
Yeah, a lot of leopard gecko people don't use this terminology, but the terminology for a snow in the world of genetics, okay, genetics spans across every single species on the planet. In the world of genetics, what a snow really is a
white albino, right?
Yeah, it's an exanthic. Wait, am I saying this right? Yeah. It's an exanthic leopard gecko, meaning that it produces no xanthophore color cells in its body, and therefore it doesn't display, with one snow gene, it displays a reduced amount of xanthophores, which is, yellow, orange, and red. Yellow. Okay, I'm going to restart Brooke. Okay. Look, Brooke has whiter skin than me, right?
Ooh.
I have darker skin. There's a reason for the skin color that you have, and
it's all melanistic pigment.
It's yes. In human beings, we have basically one type of color pigment that causes the color of our skin, and they are called. What did you say they were a second ago?
Melanistic.
Sorry, my brain is really tired. So it's tough to think about this right now. But yeah, melanophores. I want to say melanophores, guys, that are responsible for dark pigment. There's cantaloupe. Yeah, she looks nice. You could bring her closer to the thing.
Cantaloupe.
Okay.
Just getting tail shots. Wait, there we go.
But since my brain isn't working right now, really quick, you cannot have an all orange gecko that is super snow, because super snow takes away all yellow, all orange, and all red coloration.
And eclipses also make the orange pigmentation fade.
And eclipse also reduces the color saturation of yellow, orange, and red pigment. But if you have only one copy of the snow gene, you can still have a tangerine. It's just going to have a reduced amount of orange, yellow, and red pigment. So one copy of the snow gene, you can make a tangerine snow. 2 copies of the snow gene, which is a super snow, you cannot make a colored gecko. You will only have a white and black gecko whenever you have 2 copies of the snow gene, because both copies of the snow gene takes away all of the gecko's yellow, orange, and red pigment. Oh, that took a long time, bro.
All right, on to other things. Yeah, me as well. My super snow is fine, but I heard about them growing slower from others. Apex Gecko said it was an adult. I forgot what you were asking. Oh, we were talking about the mandarin, right?
Yeah.
And then I have 2. Oh gosh. SHTC TB, male and female.
You know what that stands for?
Tangerine.
Yeah, basically. It's basically a tangerine that is
Super hypo tangerine carrot tail, and then I don't bolt. I don't know what the B is.
Oh, B.
Yeah.
Super hypo tangerine carrot tail. Baldy.
Oh.
Yes. Baldy means
that
no pattern, no dots on the head. Look, that's a baldy. No dots on the head.
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe actually is a SHT. Tick tib.
Super hypo tangerine carrot tail baldy.
Yeah, look at you, Brooke.
Heck yeah, we're learning cantaloupe.
Are you sure you don't want Noodles as a nickname? I think it's super cool.
I do not appreciate that. If they breed, what morph will come out? Well, most likely you'll get a bunch of tangerines.
Is she talking about the snow and the tangerine?
No. 2 super high. Yeah, whatever the super hypo tangerine carrot tail baldies.
Oh,
they're both exact same genetics. You're gonna end up with more of these.
Yeah, if they're the exact same genetics, you're gonna end with more tick tibs.
But make sure that they're not siblings, because that's not a good idea.
You can.
I'm still learning about genetics. What does 100% head eclipse mean? It means the parent does not visually show the trait, but they carry it, and all of their offspring, as long as that parent is bred to another eclipse, will be eclipse.
Yes. So, real quick on that. In genetics, I have a bunch of genetics videos. Yeah, actually. I have a bunch of genetics. They're good to eat.
Okay. This one's got a weird squishy.
They're just a few days old, but as long as it's not brown.
The smaller ones. This one's like.
Here. It's soft. They're all soft. Oh, that one's harder. Yeah. But they're all kind of soft because days. So I have a lot of genetics videos, a whole series on it. If you search on my YouTube videos page, you'll get to spend more time with genetics. I go over everything in detail. But really quick, what het means is heterozygous, meaning that it's only carrying one copy of the genetic mutation. Homozygous means that it's carrying 2 copies of the genetic mutation. So heterozygous is only carrying 1 copy. Homozygous is carrying 2 copies. Some leopard gecko genetics are what's called recessive, meaning it requires 2 copies, one from mom and one from dad, to show the visually different, to show the mutation, for the color change or the pattern change to show on the baby. Other traits, she looks like a carrot. Other traits are what's called dominant, which means it only needs 1 copy to show the expression of that gene. So check out my genetic series. I go over everything in detail. There's quite a few more other topics to talk about, but it's on those videos. Yeah.
Hello, Geckoasis.
What's up, Jim?
Could we see Honeydew? I have asked this every stream. I'm sorry if it's annoying. Pretty Gecko BT dub. This is Honeydew's sibling. This is Cantaloupe. Honeydew didn't like me today. We'll try again later. Brenda said, did I miss something? LOL.
Tell him what happened with Honeydew.
Honeydew wanted to eat me.
Did she open her mouth at you today?
Yeah. I mean, she didn't, like, nom at me, but she, like, opened her mouth and just, like, looked at me, like...
Hey, I have a traffic announcement.
Traffic announcement? We're going live to Whitney with the traffic.
Hello, my friends. I was supposed to go to the gym.
You didn't go to the gym?
But did that happen? No. Don't go on the 202 East tonight. If you're planning on going, past, like, Arizona Avenue or, like,
we're getting
the 202 in Chandler or like 202 in Alma School, because there was a big accident and they're not letting anyone go past like the 202, the Arizona Avenue exit on the 202. I couldn't even get to the gym tonight.
Wow,
so,
you left like an hour ago.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you for that advisory.
Yes.
All right, now back to geckos.
You could just do Zumba in the kitchen. I know it's not the same.
Or you could run laps in the backyard.
Yeah.
Let's see, where were we? Did I miss something? I don't know, Brenda. I'm sorry.
What were we talking about?
A lot.
We were talking about a lot.
Calling me noodles.
Oh,
This
calling
is
you noodle,
cantaloupe.
yeah.
We were talking about some genetics. We were talking about eggs. We were talking about incubation temperatures and mandarins. Oh, okay. You're climbing my shirt now.
Yeah, there you
My Leo's first clutch was bad. Do you think her second will be okay? It's her first time ever laying eggs. If she lays another bad clutch, then you could always try and repair her.
Yeah, so anytime a gecko lays a bad clutch, I like to try to repair the gecko. Not every time is this necessary, and not every time will the gecko repair, but it's worth a shot. Now, on the first year breeding thing, I had a first year girl lay 11 eggs, and only 3 of them were good. I had another first year girl lay 14 eggs, and 13 of them were good. So it can vary from female to female. That being said, it's often thought, and it was recorded by Ron Tremper, the godfather of leopard geckos 20 years ago. He recorded that most of his first year girls had a lot of infertile eggs. So you're not alone. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. But at the same time, it doesn't mean every girl's going to have a bad first year. It just means that that is something that can happen.
All right. Back to more questions. Super hypotangerine carrot tail baldy. Yes. Thank you. I guessed for like all of it. Demarian Thornton put 2 fire emojis. I'm guessing that's referring to little cantaloupe. It's currently climbing me. Hey Frank, still a scorcher here on the west coast of Canada. Heat wave still here, looking at 42. Look at 42, almost 115 degrees. Hey, guess what? We're around 120.
In Canada?
Yeah, East Coast Canada. Oh, no, wait, West Coast Canada.
How is West Coast Canada getting... How is that even possible?
Global warming.
Yeah.
Het is short for heterozygous, which means then gecko has 1 copy of the eclipse gene. When paired with a visual eclipse, there is a high chance of eclipse. Sorry, Frank. Barely beat me to it.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank. What makes the clown morph? Are we
So
talking ball
that's
pythons
for ball
there?
pythons, yeah. So the clown morph is a... so first of all, in ball pythons, the cool thing about ball pythons, they don't focus a lot on line breeding, like tangerine is line breeding. They just have a boatload of Mendelian genetics. Mendelian genetics are dominant and recessive genetics. In the ball python world, clown is one of the top 3 most popular recessive genetics. Recessive, again, means that mom has to pass on 1 clown gene, dad has to pass on 1 clown gene, so that the baby has 2 clown genes to show its visual effect. What happens with clown is that it gets this thick, drippy stripe down the middle of its back, like the top of its back. It looks really cool. And then did she try to bite you again?
Yeah, she just did.
No way. Let me see if she tries to she is snippy. What is going on, girl?
Honeydew does not like us.
Maybe she is oh my gosh. Here's Honeydew, guys. Honeydew making a fiery entrance. Let's see if she's ovulating.
I think Honeydew realized we like her and now she doesn't like us. Hold on, let me get a flashlight on that.
She's calm, but look, she looks like she's gonna snap. What's that song that's like, I'm ready to snap?
I don't know, but I know
Here, now you can hold her.
She just tried to bite me. You're really gonna give her to me again?
Look, she's fine now.
Twice in one day she tried to eat me.
It's because she heard the noodles conversation. Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh, so clown? Yeah, so if you look up what a clown looks like, it has a dark stripe down its back, and then it has kind of like teardrop looking bands down the sides, and then it has a head pattern that kind of looks a little wonky too. It's a very, very great gene. It's one of the top in the ball python world.
Oh, that's the dubious. I thought it was raining for a minute.
Doesn't
I
it sound
got
like
excited.
Yeah, they're really. It's
but
really.
Yeah, cool. There was Honeydew. She tried to kill both of us. What will happen if you are breeding siblings? If I breed 2 super hypotangerine carrot tail baldies, so their color will be much orange. So they will be extremely orange, but there's genetics with siblings
genetic
to where
variants. Yeah.
let's say that there's two family members, and they're both the family is prone to having some kind of genetic issue.
In leopard geckos, that could be
missing a foot.
Yeah, missing a foot. Let's just even say organ, like liver disease,
yeah.
or small hearts,
neurological
or
issues.
neurological issues.
So breeding two geckos that are related gives a lot higher of a chance for those problems to display themselves. So let's say you've got neurological issues that are a trend in the family, and you breed two siblings together. The chance of the neurological issues displaying in those kids is raised exponentially.
So Brooke's not an inbreeding fan, but
no,
we do inbreed.
There is inbreeding to try and get specific genes to be narrowed down. But if you think about it, tangerines are already a line-bred trait. So there's already been a lot of inbreeding to a tangerine. So if you take two tangerines that are siblings and know they're siblings and you breed them together, the amount of issues that you could have...
It does go up. The chances goes up.
It's a potential.
It's a potential. Now, there's two sides of the coin, right? And this is a perfect example. You know, Brooke is saying be very cautious when you are inbreeding family members.
If you already have two geckos with the genetics that you're looking for, then just don't have them as siblings.
Yeah. Now here's the reason why people do cross siblings is in the same sense of what Brooke's warning you about. If there's genetic defects in the DNA, those defects are going to overlap and affect the gecko, the offspring worse. In the same way, the reason that people do inbreed, and we do inbreed here at GeekyGeckoCreations, we outcross, but we also inbreed. The reason that people do inbreed is because the good genetics that are in both geckos will also multiply in the color sense. But this could be accomplished in two different ways. You know, the color can be accomplished by breeding siblings that have similar color, or parent to child, or it could be accomplished by breeding two different bloodlines, like one super hypotangerine carrot tail that came from this family and another super hypotangerine carrot tail that came from this family, and breeding them together. Those are your two options, basically. And Brooke's saying go with option 2, but...
Honeydew, put the sassy tail away.
She's extra saucy right now.
Luna Geckos said, hey, Frank.
What's up, Luna? Good to see all your videos, man. I definitely want to make more business talk.
Oh, hello, Luna. You talked to me.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got probably breeding siblings or inbreeding is possible in Leos. However, there is a small possibility for birth defects. We got a high lid. Luna. How are the Tegu eggs? They're doing good. Oh, they're doing great. I'm really hoping that I can be here when we hatch out the Tegu eggs. But I have a vacation planned, and the Tegu eggs are supposed to hatch out towards the end of my vacation. So I'm hoping that they're patient enough that I can get back and help hatch them out because I love Tegus.
And why do you want to be here, Brooke?
Because they're so freaking cute and I love them.
But what's something that's
I want to be I want my pick of the litter.
But what happens with Tegu eggs?
Well, you gotta tickle the egg to hatch them out of the egg.
Yeah, so in the leopard gecko world, most people just let the eggs hatch on their own. In the ball python world, most people cut the eggs open at 60 days. In the Tegu world, most people wait for the first couple Tegus to hatch, and then they do something called tickling the rest of the eggs. It is like an internal response that all the Tegus have. It's like a nesting response. As soon as they feel the tickling, they pop. They shoot right out of the egg because that's instinctually built into them to stand a higher chance of survival in the wild when they all hatch at the same time and are spreading out versus hatching individually.
Okay, honeydew and cantaloupe have been put away. Congrats on the egg score, BT Dub.
Oh yeah, that was the video that I made, I think. Oh, if you haven't seen our Tegu egg video, please go watch it. Please like and support it. It didn't get too many views or whatever, but you know, every video I like to try to promote and get watching and everything. So
Apex Gecko said, "Oh my gosh, honeydew is adorable." Yeah, she's adorable. She tries to eat my fingers.
That was the first time she tried to get me too.
Brenda said, "Honeydew is a velociraptor." Yes, I can confirm.
She is part of
Apex Geckos wants to know how old Honeydew is. 4 months?
I think I want to say Honeydew is 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months old. Honeydew is 3 to 4, and so is Cantaloupe.
And
They are clutch mates.
And they're big because why, Brooke?
Because we feed them lots to help them grow big and strong.
To help them grow big and strong.
My female is a standard gecko, and my male is a blizzard. What would the babies be? Well, that's really hard to tell.
What is blizzard, Brooke? What kind of gene?
Blizzard is a recessive gene.
Right.
And if you have a normal, that's a dominant gene. So unless that normal is carrying a recessive gene, heterozygous, for that gene, you might end up with all normals. But there's no way to know what your normal is heterozygous for without testing it.
If blizzard is recessive, that means that mom or the blizzard is carrying what? How many copies of the gene?
At least one.
If it's visual blizzard, because
you could have a heterozygous mom and a heterozygous dad that had a blizzard baby. So the blizzard baby, the blizzard would be completely homozygous recessive.
The blizzard be.
I thought you were talking about the blizzard's mom.
Yeah, no. So that's why I was gonna talk you through it. That if the blizzard is homozygous, what are the chances that it's gonna pass on one blizzard trait?
100%.
Which means all the babies will be what?
Het blizzard.
Yes.
Unless the normal, unless the normal is heterozygous for blizzard, and then you could have some homozygous and some heterozygous.
Right.
Normal 100% het blizzard is inbreeding how lemon frost got so bad.
I think one of the reasons,
yeah. Yes and no. It's a compound. It's like compounded interest. There's a lot of stuff that went wrong, but there's a lot of stuff that's being corrected now.
Actually, I'm going to make a video on this because I don't know if you saw, but there was an article recently written about...
I don't have time to read
or
look at the internet.
But, so, there's an article that was recently released about the UCLA paper talking about the lemon frost genetic. Now, we've read the UCLA paper. We've broken it down. We've digested it. But this article has stimulated some new conversation, even though it doesn't state anything new. It doesn't, well, there's a couple things, but it doesn't really say much different than what the paper said. But the fact that it's an article and it's simple to digest compared to like the scientific document, a lot of people are talking about it now. I'm actually going to do a video, my reaction to reading the article, and I'm going to talk more about the lemon frost, but it appears that the lemon frost might be a compound issue between the lemon frost part of the DNA that is defective and other parts of the gecko's DNA that are defective. This is unproven yet so far. Even the article states that it's unproven. They don't know what is actually causing the defects, but they have located certain defects in the gecko's DNA, and they believe that some of these defects are having an effect on the lemon frost gene and the tumors that are being produced in lemon frost. But should I read it out loud? I'm confused. I don't get it.
Basically, the Pacific Northwest is getting roasted right now.
Oh, that's why the Canada guy
Yeah.
said it's super, super hot. Gotcha. That's funny.
Ooh, for inbreeding, would it not be better to breed female to father or brother to mother?
It does. For inbreeding, it's not going to matter. It's all the same.
All the same now.
It's
yeah.
all the same if you're inbreeding.
Hello, I have a question for leopard gecko breeding season. When is it?
It's typically January through June.
Oh, congratulations on the gargoyle! I have one. Mine's in orange reticulated, but congratulations on the red stripe.
Oh, so real quick, on the leopard gecko breeding season, most leopard gecko females will start something called ovulation, which is them telling the males that it's time to mate. They start that in around December/January, and they will do that for about 4 months until about May/June. They will lay 2 eggs maybe once or twice a month until their season is done in about May or June. But That is most leopard geckos. Not every leopard gecko breeds only December through June. There are some leopard geckos that breed year round. So check out our ovulation video. I have a video on breeding. I also have a video on ovulation, egg setup, how to determine if the eggs are good. A lot of different videos. Check all that out because knowing if your girl is ovulating.
I'm just waiting for you to throw that carrot.
Knowing how to look for the signs of ovulation in a girl is what you're going to need to know as a leopard gecko breeder, because that is what tells you to pair her with the male and start expecting eggs.
Okay, let's see. You can do that to crested geckos too. I believe that refers to hatching them out, like the tickle.
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw
the
the egg
tickling,
collection, LOL. Robbie S says, hi, I love your breeding spreadsheet. Do you have
thanks,
spreadsheets
Robbie.
for hatchlings? Yes.
Brooke's
Yes.
learning about it now.
I am being educated on the spreadsheets. It is.
But I haven't made a public one yet, but I'm going to. So what Robbie's talking about is I actually have a public spreadsheet of our adults for breeding season.
Oh, that's cool.
That I made available to people. But I will make a baby one very, very soon, Robbie. Or ask Robbie to email me, and I'll send him one ahead of time since he really wants one. And I'm thankful that he's putting the other ones to use.
Well, you heard him. And let's see.
GeekyGeckoCreations at gmail.com.
We got a... So with the breeding, can I pair any type of morphs together to get rare colors? Sadly, not. I mean, yes, but sadly not.
I mean, you can.
Because you can.
pair anything
You can.
together.
You can pair anything together to get anything.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's the heterozygous traits and the recessive genes and just...
Yeah, let me talk.
It's a party.
So one of what's different with ball pythons compared to leopard geckos, ball pythons, you're typically only breeding Mendelian genetics, which in leopard geckos, Mendelian genetics would be snow, albino, white and yellow. Those are Mendelian genetics, meaning that if one gene gets passed on into the gecko's DNA, it only takes one locus point. And I have a video on this too. Watch about line breeding. Line breeding is so important to know for leopard geckos. There's Mendelian breeding in leopard geckos and line breeding. But to answer your question, if you take geckos that have different colors, you're doing something called line breeding. You're trying to enhance blue or purple or orange or red or yellow. That's called line breeding. When you're trying to enhance a certain color or pattern, you will take parents that have similar pattern or color and combine them together to enhance the pattern or the color that you're looking for. Leopard geckos, line breeding is very popular. So to answer your question, you will pop out. What did I do?
I went looking for my water and it's behind him the whole time.
Yeah.
Hydrate, people. Hydrate. It's hot out.
So yeah, line breeding gives you the most genetic variance though, because each of the babies are going to express a different level of color and pattern than their siblings do. Every sibling is going to be diversely different than its other siblings. Whereas with Mendelian breeding, the Mendelian genetics have a very similar effect on every single baby. So if I show you a super snow, it's going to look strikingly similar to another super snow and strikingly similar to another super snow, because Mendelian genetics have less variance. Let's put it that way for ease sake, has less variance than line breeding. But the good thing about leopard geckos is you have line breeding and Mendelian genetics to create an explosion of color and pattern and genetic mutation. Watch our series on genetics, watch our series on line breeding, because both of those will explain it in a lot of detail. I think I'm
And
running
we got
out of
another
battery,
question related to line breeding.
Right? Oh, yeah. let's do it.
Somebody said that they want to try and make a red leopard gecko.
Yeah, so check this guy out on...
They want to make a red one and name it Flash.
Yes, that'd be great. So red is a tough color to mimic in leopard geckos. It takes a lot of line breeding to get red. But some people now are starting to develop red hues in their leopard geckos, or even really, really saturated oranges that have a red appearance. The reddest leopard geckos that I've seen are from an Instagram guy from Asia called No Mabiam. It's his name is like NO_MABEAM. The Asian market has exploded with saturation color in their leopard geckos. A lot of their leopard geckos are even far ahead of the American market. So I would check that guy out on Instagram. He's got the closest to the reddest geckos that I've seen. Now, it doesn't mean that there's American breeders that are like not showing the animals, or that I haven't, American breeders that I haven't seen. That's a very real possibility as well. But like on Instagram and just like perusing through other people's stuff, that guy No Mabiam has the best stuff. Hey, cool shirt, Frank. Make another shirt design. That leopard gecko's having a slurp time in a cup of noodles. Great idea. Great idea.
For those of you that didn't catch it, I ate ramen at the beginning of the stream, and now I'm getting cold noodles.
So it is catching on. Oh, what was I going to do, bro? What was I going to do?
They have a girl that only lays one egg.
That happens. I have girls also that do the same thing. I think some girls have just lost the reproductive ability of one of their ovaries. And so it's possible that some girls will only lay one egg.
Okay, that is a hard question, because we have somebody asking what's one morph that hasn't been created.
Ooh.
It hasn't been created. How do we not know if it hasn't been created? If it hasn't been created, we don't even know that it's a possibility.
Maybe it's a morph that someone has an idea of wanting to create,
like a purple one.
Yeah, like a purple gecko would be great.
Because I mean, if you think about it, what colors do we have? What colors?
We have orange, white,
Okay.
yellow, black.
Also, I named this one Poppy.
Oh yeah, he does look poppy. That was a black knight.
Yep.
So you guys are gonna get a little intro. Whoa! A little. You see that gecko ninja skills? You even scream.
Poppy!
You're gonna get a little intro into our leopard gecko color changing series. But this little gecko is a pure black knight. 100% black knight. Comes from some of the best black knight genetics in the world. But look how yellow this gecko is. Now, it's not fully done maturing yet. I expect it to darken up a little bit. But this just shows you the genetic level
Poppy,
of variance that can happen with leopard geckos.
Okay, put her back. Put her back. She's not happy.
Hi,
I
Poppy.
thought she wanted to come out and play. I played with her a little bit earlier before the stream.
Oh, that worked. So Poppy is a pure black knight leopard gecko, but you can see, even though her parents were black, it doesn't mean the babies will be. That's called genetic variance, and that can happen with any baby.
Yeah, that was Poppy. Redoing my tank right now. Heck yeah. Let's see. Brenda said, hi, Brooke. I have 3 gargoyles, super striped. Just got 4 eggs. Super stoked for babies. Eggs getting bigger. I actually haven't bred any of my personal geckos. I have 2 leopard geckos and a gargoyle gecko. None of them have been bred. I was thinking about maybe bringing my gargoyle over here for a breeding project, but that depends on how things go.
I just started breeding the gargoyles too, Brooke, like testing it out. That one male with the female. Because he's a little smaller than her.
Should I bring Ghidorah?
Let me see how it goes with this one female first. Because gargoyles are a little bit more aggressive breeders than crested geckos. And they're a little bit more aggressive breeders than leopard geckos. So you want to make sure that things go well.
Yeah. Exactly. We don't know. It hasn't been created. Thank you, Apex Geckos. Let's see. Somebody else said my gargoyle gecko is 8 months. She is a female. How long do I have to wait to breed her with my gargoyle gecko male?
So the general rule of thumb for gargoyle geckos is going to be about 45 grams and about a year and a half. That's the general
18 months.
That's the general rule. If you get a gargoyle gecko that's like, 45 grams or 50 grams and it's only like a year old, then go for it. Try for it. But most gargoyle and crested geckos, they grow at a little bit slower pace than leopard geckos, and they really need that full year and a half before they're big enough and healthy enough to produce healthy offspring.
Can I breed my leopard gecko pairing? They are 10 months old and 50 grams.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I have a pregnant female gecko I got from a person who wasn't keeping them properly together in a 20-gallon. She's very gravid. Should I keep them or freeze the eggs? I don't have an incubator. Can it hatch without?
It needs... So eggs need three things. They need oxygen, they need humidity, and they need temperature. It's very hard to control those three things if you don't have an incubator. It will most likely dry up, shrivel up, or get too cold just in the gecko's natural enclosure. Now you could try.
That's not a gecko. That's a mister. Just so people know.
You could leave the eggs in your in your humid hide and see if they hatch on their own, but it's really, really a long shot for that to happen. It needs the proper humidity, the proper temperature, and the proper amount of oxygen. And a lot of times it doesn't get all three of those things when you leave it in the egg, in your gecko's cage. It either dries up, or it doesn't have the proper temperature, or it doesn't have the proper humidity. Temperature and humidity are the two biggest reasons an egg will dry up and die outside of an incubator. That's why we put them in an incubator. But if you really, really, really don't want those eggs to hatch, you could either just, squash them and throw them away, or you could feed them to like a savanna monitor, a tegu, a bearded dragon. Any animal that is a predatory animal will eat those eggs with pleasure.
Even a bird.
A bird, yeah.
Are red devil leopard geckos a good morph? Is it a tangerine?
That's the name I was trying to think of. So there's a name in Asia of a leopard gecko that's very, very red, and it's called, I believe that's the name, and I was trying to think of it today.
Makes me think of cichlids.
Yeah, is there a red devil cichlid?
Oh yeah, they're mean as heck. You can't put anything with them. They kill everything.
So again, this ties back to the fact that some of the Asian markets are way ahead of the American markets in color and quality. The red devil, I believe, is tied to the Asian market. And so you might want to search like #red devil, or you might, I'll actually try to find it for you, but Geckopia, which is my friend, we've had him on the live stream. He was the one that turned me on to the red devil, and he told me to follow some Asian breeder's page, like a Korean breeder or a Chinese breeder, and to see what the red devil looked like. But yeah, it's a pretty orange red gecko, huh?
Cantaloupe.
Hi, cantaloupe. But here's the thing with pictures, guys. Just because you see a picture doesn't mean that's what the gecko looks like in real life. It could be worse in real life, or it could be better. So a lot of my pictures, because I don't have the greatest camera, like I'm just using my phone or the greatest lighting, I try to get as close to a representation as possible of what the gecko looks like. But if anything, like if I'm selling a gecko, I would rather the gecko look a little bit worse in the picture so that when you get it, you're astounded by it, compared to looking too good in the picture and then you get it and you're like, huh, this doesn't look as good as the picture. Here's a couple things to look for in pictures. Is the skin color of the person darker, and is there like darkness going on in the background of the picture, a little bit or a lot? Because whenever you drop the darkness of the picture, it increases the saturation of the leopard gecko, giving it a more colored look when it really might not be so colorful. So there's different little things you want to look for, like when it comes to picture time, but you want to look at the rest of the picture and see how accurately is the color of this person's hand, or the color of steel, or the color of the floor, and that helps you understand whether the person has like edited the photo or whether the photo is like close to legit as possible.
And we got my gargoyle gecko. I waited until the female was 1.5 years. She was 50 to 60 grams. Yeah, that's definitely good. Pink leopard geckos would be cool. Well, Diablo Blancos kind of have a pinkish color to them. Can you suggest a way to make my hatchling eat? I have a Super Stealth? Is this supposed to be a Super Stealth? It's 2 months old already. It's been with me for 1 week now, but he is not eating. I tried dubia and mealworm. Did you try pinhead crickets? I noticed that baby geckos don't like to go after things that don't give them entertainment. So if it's not running around everywhere and wiggling, they lose interest. Hey Frank, just thought I'd share. I have you on our big TV and you have 2 little fans. I know that was towards Frank, but hello, peoples. Can a bigger juvenile male be housed with an... No. So, you have to watch the size of the geckos. If you have a really big gecko with a little gecko, there's a chance the big gecko will hurt the little gecko, or the little gecko won't get any food because the big gecko will hog it all.
Are they asking about size and breeding?
No, they're talking about housing a juvenile with a baby.
Oh, housing. Yeah, and they could also hog food, right? What do we do for our geckos that are different, that grow at different rates?
Separate them or mark the enclosure to keep an eye on them and then eventually separate them.
Now, I thought of leopard geckomorph that hasn't been created yet.
Ooh.
So, I don't know if you know, but John from he discovered recently a new gene in leopard geckos over the last 5 years, which is called the cipher gene. And because it's a recessive gene, and it basically causes a little bit of brightness in the gecko. It causes some eye pigmentation, like speckling, and then it also causes a black stripe to go down the middle of the back and then the middle of the top of the tail. So it's a pretty cool genetic variance that has not
it's
yet...
It's like a bold stripe.
It's kind of like a bold stripe, but instead of two stripes... It's
like a super bold stripe. It's just a single stripe.
It's a single stripe. So tying into that, combinations with the cipher, people know very little about right now because John really hasn't released a lot of information on all of the projects that he's succeeded with so far, but there's plenty of also projects that I think he's got in the making until we see the full potential of that morph. I think is going to be over the next like 5 years, you know?
Yeah. I'm impatient though.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to be a leopard gecko breeder. My male is super laid back. My big female is always walking over him. Yeah, I've noticed that my female gargoyle is just a spaz.
Well, that's good. I mean, you don't want an aggressive male or female.
Yeah, purple or royal blue would look cool as heck. Don't know how we get that, though.
That would be. Well, actually, here's one of the theories on how to get that. Subspecies, which is another topic that I'm going to talk about. When you work with fasciolatus or you work with Turkmenicus, both of those subspecies enhance the color of like a lavender coloration. So when you're talking about purple, if you want more purple geckos, you want to breed lavender coloration and kind of manipulate that within line breeding of the fasciolatus leopard gecko.
One of the Afghanicus says hello.
Hi, Afghan.
Thank you so much. I'll subscribe. Appreciate the reply. Yeah, of course. If you have any other questions, ask us.
We do live streams now every Monday.
Have you been on Apex recently?
So I've been kind of busy. So, okay. Actually, I've been playing Apex on the computer instead of my PS4. My computer game tag for Apex is Geckos because Gecko, every form of Gecko was taken. So I had to go GeekyGeckoCreations. That's my gamer tag in Apex on the computer, and that's the one that I've been playing more of. I haven't been jumping on my PS4, so please add me to that, and then I can accept your friend request there. Geckos, Geekcos, which is really a combination of gecko and geek. I thought it was pretty cool.
Do you breed your Sunglow and Tangerine together? Do we have Sunglow?
Yeah, so all of our tangerines that we have, Brooke, came from 2 initial geckos that were both Sunglow and Inferno. Oh. So Sunglow is Ron Tremper's line of tangerine, and Inferno, I don't know who created the Inferno line, but it's another line of tangerine.
We got hey Frank, I got a baby from my Mandarin Tangerine Rainwater Albino, and my OG Tangerine, would you call that 100% Het Rainwater Pos Tangerine?
What was the combo?
It was a tangerine leopard gecko, just a standard tangerine, and then we have a mandarin tangerine rainwater albino. So you would have, it would be the other way around. You would have tangerine babies that are
All het for rainwater.
all het for rainwater.
Yep, that's right. So they're all going to be tangerine because
If you breed 2 tangerines, you're gonna have another tangerine.
the carrots. Yeah. If
They
you
look tangerines.
yeah, if you breed 2 tangerines, like let's say, oh, this is actually
Like
a perfect
carrot
example.
hat?
Yeah, let's say dad has this much tangerine genes in his DNA. It's a lot, right? He's more beautiful than mom, which only has a less amount of
Mean.
tangerine genes. But both parents are still tangerine at the base. You know what I mean?
Drop
They're,
this one.
they're still tangerine. So when you combine 2 tangerine geckos, you're just going to get babies that are varying levels of tangerine, but you could still call them all tangerine. That being said, Brooke is exactly right. I'm giving you bunny ears. You see that? What did you say, Brooke? They're all going to be het for rainwater, but they're all going to be tangerine. Yeah.
Do you have any of the leopard geckos with the blue amber eye?
Oh, actually, no. Okay. Something weird happened to me the other day. It's this one, Brooke. This bell up there, that one that's labeled Bell. It's clearly an albino, except
Oh, that bell?
yeah,
That baby.
it's clearly an albino, and it has some pigment alteration going on in its eyes. It
I
has
was
some,
gonna poke you with that. You ate it.
it has some pigment coloration going on in its eyes that's very, very unique. I just gotta show him. I gotta show him.
Okay. Can I have a snack in the process?
You want one?
Yeah.
No,
One that's not gross.
Don't worry, they're clean. They're just a few days old.
I like snacks.
Okay. Now, this gecko is actually struggling a little bit genetically right now. It's a little bit skinny. It's a little bit small. But here's a couple things that are very interesting about this gecko. Okay. So this gecko came from 2 Tremper albino parents. It looks to be like a reverse stripe because it has that stripe down the middle of its back. It's definitely albino. I also believe that it is snow. It has like a light, pink appearance. But the weird thing is, and let me see if I notice it. Let me see.
I can see its organs.
Yeah, it's very, very transparent, which sometimes is not the greatest sign in leopard geckos. That could mean weak genetics, and you can see this gecko is a little bit skinny for its size. But one of the things that I noticed about this gecko is it also has shading in the eyes, but because the gecko is albino, the shading in the eyes should be red. But to me, and I don't know if Brooke can be a second opinion, to me it didn't look red, it looked black. So very interesting.
It looks like there's like a spot at the bottom and a spot at the top, and then it's got.
Does it look red to you, like coloration wise? Oh, here we're gonna use the light, but it did not look red to me, which would symbolize the normal eclipse gene is red.
Oh, what?
But if it's black, that would be very, very rare, and that might be like an ember eyes or something like that. But I did not try to get ember eyes. I did not buy any ember eyes. But whenever you breed leopard geckos, there's a lot of unknown genetics that are just floating around in the leopard gecko
like
world.
A super, super dark red, or you've got like at the top and bottom a little bit of melanistic pigmenting.
Yeah, melanistic pigmenting, which should not be happening in albino leopard geckos, which makes me think it might be like the ember eye gene. So in leopard geckos, Brooke, there's some more eye genes that are a little bit more rare that are called like ember eyes and stuff like that. And I actually never looked that much into ember eyes and like whether the coloration of an ember albino is dark or whether it's bright. But I'm gonna have to look into that. But anyway, that's my spiel on ember. I did not buy any ember eyes or marble eyes or anything like that. But
we might have one.
But we might have one.
Very cute.
Well put, Brooke. You always know what I'm going to say and help me wrap it up sooner so that I don't have to carry on with my spiel.
Want to get a purple, you would have to have a close purple color and get dark purple. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, purple would be nice.
Oh, real quick, bro.
What will you get if you breed a high yellow and a max snow? Well, you'd either get a high yellow or you'd get a max snow.
Actually,
Depends on the genetics of the high yellow.
Real quick, before answering that question, look at this gecko. Kind of purple. This is called a midnight blizzard. You can buy these. They're called midnight blizzards.
Bam.
Yeah, there we go. They're called midnight blizzards because they're a normal blizzard is kind of like yellowish white, but these ones are grayish purple, and they just hatch out a little bit darker. And when you breed the darker ones to other midnight blizzards, you get
the
darker
little eyes.
Yeah, this one's
Oh,
feisty.
dude,
You see that?
Namu?
Yeah, she's a feisty one.
She
She
wants
is.
to nom you.
She's super feisty, this one.
Gosh, why are the?
But she hasn't tried to bite me in a while, but that you clearly saw. She tried to attack me.
She thinks fingers are nom noms.
Now, okay, getting back to the high yellow, the snow gene mutes the yellow. It dilutes the yellow a little bit. But if you mix a snow with a high yellow baby, only half the babies are going to be snow, and they will appear a little bit lighter in appearance, a little bit more muted colors. The rest of the babies will be non-snow that will have heightened levels of yellow because of the one parent that is high yellow.
Sunglow is a mix between tangerine and albino, isn't it? Or am I thinking of a typhoon and tangelo? The Sunglow is an albino tangerine?
To my knowledge, yeah, it is Ron Tremper's version of the tangerine.
I can't eat noodles, they're gone!
And it might also tie into the albino gene, right? So, now, sometimes...
You know what? I'm doing it.
What are you doing?
Oh, somebody said to name that baby Cinnamon.
Which one? Oh, that's actually a good name. But didn't you have another baby you were going to name Cinnamon?
No.
I would have to freshen up on my...
Somebody suggested that for the rat.
Oh. I'd have to freshen up on my Sunglow knowledge, but I believe Sunglow is Ron Tremper, the godfather of leopard geckos. His tangerine line mixed with his Tremper albino line is Sunglow. But sometimes people just say Sunglow to refer to Ron Tremper's tangerine line as well. But with tangerine, name is not so important because you're going for color quality. Same with the Black Knight or any black gecko. Name is not that important. What you're going for is color quality. You want to make sure you're buying an animal that visually represents the color that you're wanting to pay for that animal, you know?
I've touched a lot of geckos, and then I'm going to get out Widow.
Oh, you labeled Cinnamon already?
Yep. Oh, wait, you can't walk away when I'm walking away.
Oh, I'm here.
Are you a full-time reptile breeder? Yes.
Yes, now I am for the last 6 months.
I can't eat noodles. I named it Cinnamon for you. Are you happy now? Do you have an email so I can send you a picture of the baby I created so you can let me know what you think? Haha.
Yeah,
Isn't
what's
it
our email?
GeekyGeckoCreations@gmail.com?
Perfect. Brooke is so great, guys. She has great memory, great
He's
attentiveness to care. Yeah, no, Brooke, we met. So my wife and I vended a show for the first time this year in, what was it, like April, Brooke?
Yep.
So in April, Brooke showed up on the first day of the show. She came to our table, you know, very nice young lady, and she just liked hanging out at our table so much to the point where I started letting her coach people through holding the Tegus. That was on day 1. So we wrap it up, we go home, we come back day 2, Brooke is there again, and we see her in the middle of the show, and then I forget how, but we wind up talking about it, and I was like, do you want to vend the rest of the show with us? And
your parents or Whitney's parents, whoever.
oh, my dad left. Yeah,
They wanted to go home, and then you were like, "Oh, we would be short people," and then I was like,
Brooke was wanting to volunteer with us at the show, so I was like, yeah, that'd be great. That would give me a chance to walk around the show, socialize, meet some people.
That's where my lanyard came
so that's
from.
what we did, and now
pass.
she's got her lanyard. Yeah, so Brooke is our very useful helper around here now, and we're really grateful for that.
Oh, nice. Brenda said she also has a Midnight Blizzard female.
Yeah, Midnight Blizzards are great. One of my favorites, actually.
I have a pair of the Midnight Blizzards. I've been trying to breed them into dark purple, but I have yet to get one.
There you go. So if you want to breed purple, I would probably try Blizzard and Fasciolatus. because the fasciolatus have a lot of lavender hues. I'll show that to you right now. Now, they are also a lot lankier of a gecko. This guy's a little bit skinny. It was breeding season, and sometimes, you know, they could not eat, and this guy hasn't developed a great eating habit yet. But this is called a fasciolatus. I would have to look to see what region that these come from in the Middle East, but all the leopard gecko species, they come from different regions. Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Turkey, India. Whatever region this guy comes from, you can see this is their natural look in the wild. They have a very, very light coloration, and you can see almost purple coloration on their bandings there.
They're also very grabby.
They're very grabby. They're a little bit more longer and lanky compared to your traditional leopard gecko, which is shorter and stubby.
And then, do you think that males and females have a different head type, as in like a more beefy look for males?
No.
No. Honestly, you just look at the pelvis to see if there are femoral pores or if there are not femoral pores.
Yeah.
Everything else looks the same. Oh yes, my blizzard is more grayish purple. That's why I got him. Maybe it's secretly a midnight blizzard.
Hi, Skittles. Oh, come back.
Skittles?
This guy's name's Skittles.
Wait, you said come back? Did he run away?
No. So, this is Skittles. He's the dad to every single one of our tangerines that we have. The reason I got him, their colors fade out over time, but the reason I got him is because as a young lad, Skittles had great green, purple, and orange coloration, which is why a lot of our tangerines have green, purple, and orange coloration, which Brooke is going to show you Widow here in a second. Widow is like a grandchild of Skittles. And the mom was just a pure pure beautiful orange. But what I wanted to show you about him was the male. Brooke, real quick, can you show him the male pores? Can you point it out? It's hard for me to point out.
Gosh, hold on. So it's the V right here. So it goes along the legs and then it goes up that leg and also balls.
Yeah, you see it right here, right there. If you do a Google search for male versus female leopard gecko, you'll get a much better picture than the quality that's probably showing right now. But males, you could see a V formation here after 6 months of age, and sometimes they will have bulges down here. But sometimes females can have bulges as well. So what you're mainly looking for is the pores.
I have a concern once you finish putting them on.
What's the concern?
Looks like an undigested mealworm.
Yeah, either.
That's a loose poop.
Yeah, either that or the mealworm went in there and died. But yeah, that's interesting. It normally wouldn't pass through the digestive tract
Come here, baby.
undigested. Anything undigested would be regurgitated.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
All right, are you guys ready to meet Widow?
Yeah, Widow's. Let's see if Widow's colors show up.
You gonna do the light trick for me?
I'll do the light trick for you.
Okay, here's the
So
front.
Widow is a grandchild of Skittles. Widow came from from Skittles, which is a green, purple, and orange leopard gecko, and it came from a mom, which is a super hypo, very
I'm bending very weird
like
here.
orange
Widow. Please
gecko.
Cooperate.
So the colors aren't showing up the greatest because yellow and orange colors, they kind of get
You can see the purples.
But yeah, you can see the design. Now this one's called Widow because of the design, right?
Yep, hourglasses on the back.
But in person, the orange is definitely way more orange, and it's outlined very nicely on the back to give it like that black widow kind of look. Widow spider, which is why...
Yep. And this one's a female, so I figured it fit.
Yeah, which is why Brooke named it Widow. But yeah, you can see the design of it, and it's kind of popping out.
Even the tail has an hourglass.
Yeah, really cool.
Very pretty.
I'm a big fan of Widow.
I like Widow.
One of my favorites. Along with Cookie.
This is Widow. Very good baby. I like Widow. All right, Widow. Are you ready to go back to sleep, beast?
Brooke, I might have finished the roaches.
Heck yeah.
Might have.
Okay, bye-bye, Widow.
So I was just hydrating the roaches right now, feeding them. I do that about every 3 to 4 days. Hydration and feeding.
Ow!
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You are injury prone.
Ow! I hit my knee on the table.
I should have you sign a safety waiver when you come over here.
Do you work with super giants?
Yeah, we have a couple. We want to. Oh, that's another project, Brooke, that hasn't been done yet. We want to breed black knights into super giants.
Oh, heck.
So that's another project.
We got a question. Do you make your own roach food? It's just what he was doing. We had carrots, we had celery, we had oats, and just threw it in there. Just free willy. And then water for hydration. And then Widow is a very beautiful looking gecko. Thank you. I'm proud of her even though I had nothing to do with her. How many adult leopard geckos do you have? Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's
10,
about 50
11.
per rack.
So there's 11 slots in a rack, and
Yeah,
each rack is
44.
4 wide, so it's 44 per rack, approximately. Minus 1 in that rack and minus 1 in that rack. So let's say 43 times 2, that's going to put us at 86. So we have 86 on this wall. And then we have some sub-adults that are on this wall. So we have another 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that one's 10, 2 by 10, so that's 20. This one's 2 by 11, so it's 22. And then we have 42 sub-adults over here. And I'm not going to count the babies.
All right, Brooke, we're gonna change. I'm gonna go over
No,
here.
I'm reading.
I'm sorry. Noodles.
Bully.
I'm just gonna get a chair so we can both sit and read.
I believe we do have Tangerine Super Giants. If anything, I think one is cage surfing right now.
No Tangerine Super Giants yet.
Oh, well, he looks like he could be a giant.
he's,
Tangerine Giant. My bad.
He's albino. I'll show you the
No,
giant.
no. I'm looking at this guy.
Oh,
He big.
he's just big.
He's
So-
just big.
Guys, there's a lot of Brooke. You could bring your chair over here too. I need to charge my phone. That's what I need. Where is my extension cord? Oh, extension cord's up there. So I'm gonna show you this and then I'll be back. So Brooke was saying that this gecko is big. There's controversy right now in the leopard gecko world whether giant is actually a dominant gene, which it was originally classified as, and then it was reclassified by the guy that discovered the gene. There we go. There we go. Necklace. The guy that discovered the gene, Ron Tremper, the godfather of leopard geckos, he reclassified it before he retired as a recessive gene. I gotta move. He reclassified it.
No,
He reclassified it as a recessive. Ooh,
My noodles!
Ooh,
Why do you
your
keep,
noodles
You're
are.
moving everything. I put that against something so it wouldn't fall
Look.
over, and you move everything I said it again.
Look, if would you just throw that cup away? It's empty. What are you doing with it?
I didn't want to leave the stream.
Oh, gotcha. The garbage is right here. No, I know the
Fork!
feeling though. Oh, that's right. She has to throw the fork in the sink, right?
Now?
No, actually, there's fork juice on the table.
Yeah, it's probably on your carpet too.
Okay, so what happened with the supergiant gene? When it first came out, Ron Tremper discovered it. Ron Tremper coined it a incomplete dominant gene, meaning that one copy makes a big gecko, 2 copies makes an even bigger gecko. But before he retired, he reclassified it as a recessive gene, meaning that one copy doesn't change the gecko size. Only 2 geckos changes only 2 copies changes the gecko size. But specialists in the hobby today tend to believe that it's actually just line bred, meaning that when you take a tall person and breed them to another tall person, I've used this example before, like Shaquille O'Neal is 7 feet tall. If he has a baby with a 6 foot tall woman, they're going to have some tall children. In the same way, if you breed a big gecko to another big gecko, you're going to have big geckos. But Ron says that that's not what happened. Ron says that the supergiant leopard gecko originally spontaneously popped out of 2 normal leopard geckos. So he believes that the trait was Mendelian, meaning it makes an effect at one locus point in the gecko's DNA and easily passes on. So
Freedom.
more discovery to come. But that was the little debate over what's going on currently right now in the leopard gecko world about the super giant morph. So.
And then there was a question about us going to a reptile expo in Texas.
Ooh, I should. So as our company grows, I'm definitely going to go to reptile expos in Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, anywhere within reach. But for now, what's more strategic for our company is to just sell online and not make all of those expenses to travel when I don't even have that many animals to like sell at the show. But I love doing shows. I would love to travel to like Texas, Nevada, New Mexico, California, all the different shows within this area as time goes on. Once we get our own van, once we get like more employees, or like Brooke is with us, like, you know what I mean? So we'll see, but in time.
All right, so this one's an interesting one. I'm excited to see what I will get. I have eggs from a female, which is a white and yellow red striped rainwater. Okay. A male that's a bold striped tangerine rainwater.
That's an interesting combo. You'll get some good stuff. You're going to get some bold stripes in there. You're going to get some rainwaters in there. You'll get some red stripe influence. It's going to be good.
Have you tried oranges with your dubias? They're supposed to go nuts.
Yes, but there's I can't get over there. There's two reasons why I don't use fruit with dubias. Reason number one, fruit molds easily, and mold is thought to kill off dubia roaches quickly. So you don't want mold in your dubia roach colony. Fruit molds very easily. Reason number two is that bearded dragons are very, very sensitive to citric acid, which oranges are full of. So if you're feeding your dubia roaches oranges or any citric fruit, grapefruit or whatever, and then your bearded dragon eats it, your bearded dragon is most likely going to have diarrhea or regurgitation or stomach issues because of the citric acid that's in the fruit. So instead of me worrying about all that, I wanted to test out just using vegetables and grains. And I've been growing this dubia colony for the last year, and I can tell you, on vegetables and grains, like oatmeal, they do fantastic. They breed fantastic, and then you don't have to worry about the citric acid issue with bearded dragons, which bearded dragons are the #1 consumer
We're
of
gonna
dubia
just
roaches.
slide that away from you.
What am I doing?
What's Aaliyah's favorite food? I don't know. They like crickets, they like mealworms, they like dubias. Those are the biggest hits I've seen. My leopard geckos go crazy for hornworms. Can you make a video on shipping geckos? Well, we could try to make a video on shipping geckos, but we actually don't ship geckos, right?
Not yet. So now you've done it. Now I got to give my spiel about why we're not selling geckos this year, Brooke. Thanks, Noodles.
No, I'm not the one that did this. Blame E2 Color Creations.
E2 Color Creations. Cool name, by the way. Let me explain why we're not selling geckos this year. Let me show you the geckos we've produced. I'm going to be quick. Brooke is going to hold me accountable. Look at all these babies we produced.
And the subadults.
There's about 150 babies in there right now. And then these subadults that were babies and grew into subadults. I am doing this full time now. Why are you not in the shop?
Because you took the camera from me.
I didn't. I'm fortunate enough to have a financial investment partner that came in recently after I lost my job through COVID and allowed me to focus on the reptiles full time. I've always wanted to do the reptiles full time, but I thought it would be like a retirement thing. Like I would retire at the age of like 60, whatever it is now, 30 years from now, and then do the geckos full time and just keep it as a hobby for the meantime. But when I lost my job through COVID, I decided to take a break from the regular 9-to-5 life and try to do the reptiles full time. During that time, I ran into an old family member that I hadn't seen in a long time, and he said, "Hey, I love what you're doing here. I want to support your passion. What do you need to do this full time?" and he's been financially supportive to us to get us rolling so that I could focus on this full time, which is why I'm not selling any geckos this year, is because to set myself up as a business, to be in business, and to make enough money to support the business and do this full time, I need a large collection of geckos to be breeding and operating out of. And not just a collection, but a quality collection. So over the last couple of years, I've collected Brooke's like, you're going too long.
None of you guys
I'm almost done. I'm almost
saw
done.
that, but I went.
Over the last couple of years, before I went full time, I collected a bunch of breeders that I was breeding that were good quality, and then I've just been multiplying that stock, breeding them for females, because for leopard geckos you could incubate them at lower temperatures to be females. So this is my last point, Brooke. All of these are incubated for females. That's almost 200 babies this year that we hatched that are incubated for females.
There's a couple males.
Yeah, there's a couple males, but they're all going to be
right there.
Like widow, cantaloupe, honeydew, all of those.
Cookie.
Those high quality.
I'm gonna go through the names. I'm gonna go through the names in a minute because the people that are here now probably didn't hear them at the beginning. So I'm gonna go through them again, and I reopened my list.
Okay, but
first
you gotta
we're
show
gonna
Cookie.
catch up chat.
Okay, but you gotta show Cookie.
Okay, fine. I'll get Cookie.
So we have a bunch of high quality babies that are going to be turned into breeders next year. So thank you guys for being patient with us. But because I'm in this for the long haul, I had to strategically not sell any geckos this year so I could turn them all into breeders to bring you guys the best quality geckos next year.
This is my baby. This is the first one
Cookie.
I ever named. It is the cranberry cookie.
Cookie's my first favorite gecko. Now Widow is my second. You can see.
It has a red paradox spot.
It has a
That's why
red
Cookie
paradox
is
spot.
loved.
Cookie also has very nice orange striping.
And the chalky chips on the chin.
And the chocolate chips on the chin.
Chalky chips
that's
on the chin.
I think it's called chocolate chips.
Excuse me?
No kidding. Is it chalky chips?
They are chalky chips.
Okay, chalky chips. Are you being for real?
It's like chalky milk, you know?
Is there such thing as chalky? I'm confused.
It's chocolate. It's chocolate, but you say it like an idiot.
Oh, okay.
So it's
I'm just making sure that I wasn't wrong all of these years. I'm just making sure. Okay.
No, it's just a goof thing.
I like silly talk. I like goof talk. I do it all the time with my wife. Actually, my wife called me the other day and she started talking goofy. But I was in the car with my friend and I was like, "Sorry, hon, can't talk goofy to you right now because I'm with blah blah blah."
Chip baby. Oh. Are you liking the camera, baby?
So yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Cookie's climbing the phone.
This one is Het. Don't jump, Cookie. Don't jump. This one is
You
Het.
have so much to live for.
Het Eclipse. Very nice orange coloration. I really, really love Cookie. But
and
man,
a stripe.
Widow's really taking my heart right now.
Yeah, Widow. But
Widow's
there's
looking
the
really
cranberry
good.
cookie.
I know.
Cranberry cookie's the OG.
Yeah, Cookie is
First one I ever named.
Yeah, she's the original favorite.
All right, let's see where Chad is at.
You get us caught up with chat, Brooke. I'm not good at that.
What's the weight to tell if it's a giant leopard gecko? I'm pretty sure like 90 grams.
It's like over. It's like 100
It's like
to 110.
Yeah, I thought that was. Yeah.
But then again, you could just have a large gecko that has a lot of body rotundus to it, like body size to it, you know? So a lot of people want to force their gecko to be a super giant and they pound it full of food and then they get this really, really chunky gecko and they're like, look, it's a super giant. But really the gecko's just overweight because it's been fed so much. So I wouldn't be too concerned about weight, but typically what people consider super giants is over 100 grams. You're talking about like 100, 110 minimum to be considered super giant.
And then we had something about
oh my gosh, are those all the names?
Yeah.
You really wrote them down in your phone.
Yeah.
I like merengue.
Meringue.
Oh, is that not how you say it? Merengue?
It's like lemon meringue pie.
But merengue is a word, is it not?
Yeah, it's a type of music.
Oh, there you go. I thought you only listened to reclassified rock music. What is it called? The type of music you listen to? Cover rock? So it'll be like a guy singing Frozen in a rock rendition.
Okay, that's one of the artists that I listen to. There's a guy on YouTube named Jonathan Young, and he does covers
People
of like
see you.
he does covers because you steal the camera.
Oh,
he does covers of like everything. like Disney
Jonathan
music.
Young.
Yeah,
we're promoting
Jonathan
you,
Young.
Johnny. Johnny, have us on the channel, Johnny.
I like his stuff. He does covers, but he has originals too. His originals are fun. His covers are great, and his originals are fun.
It's really
good.
It's a really cool.
His voice is like super
Yeah.
unique. It's like raspy, but then it goes smooth.
I'm gonna
It's-
promote my favorite music group recently too. I just found out about these guys. They're called Nightwish, and they were European. They're a European rock group, but they have a very like fantasy rock kind of vibe. It sounds fantastic. Nightwish, if you hear them. Get us caught up, Brooke.
Could you do a show on how to sell online, and also the biggest thing is how to price geckos?
I have 2 videos on that. I'll do more videos in the future, but if you search the videos on my channel, I have 2 Morph Market videos. I might even have a playlist that labels it Morph Market playlist. One video shows you the basics of how to use Morph Market, learn about pricing, how to find geckos. The second video shows you how to know the price, the current market value of geckos, how to know how many geckos are selling in the world off of Morph Market this year, insider tips and tricks to using Morph Market as a breeder. Both of those videos are on my channel.
Gecko Oasis said that they got to take off. Great stuff as always. Good night,
Thanks,
Gecko
Gecko
Oasis.
Oasis. How far behind are we?
12 minutes.
Oh, Yoon Yeep in the house. Gotta love the Asian brotherhood.
And then there will be a show in Beaumont several months from now. It would be cool if you could make it.
Yeah, I would love to if I can.
I make no promises.
Yeah, this is a really busy year for us right now because we're just trying to grow our infrastructure and really get everything down. And really, so we're at the point right now where we really need Brooke. Like, I'm thankful she's here because without her, guys,
Stop
we're
calling me Noodles, man.
Noodles. Without Noodles right now, and my wife, of course, when Noodles isn't working, my wife is helping me. I'm working like 24/7.
Call me Noodles.
Sorry. My wife, even the other day, she told me, she was like, "Hun, when are you going to take a break? All you do is work, work, work." I was like, but I want to see this business succeed. I want it to grow. So I'm very passionate about it, getting it to that point. But needless to say, all of that I say is because without Brooke right now, AKA, I won't say it.
I'm going to hit you.
I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing. You know, a shout out to my wife, Whitney, of course, because without her, I wouldn't be able to do it as well.
Thanks for the videos. I use them a lot for info. Good, you should.
Thank
They're
you.
informative.
Appreciate that. I love being helpful as much as possible.
Every time I tried to go buy on your website, it doesn't show any animals available. It does not work at all.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's because there are no animals available.
Yeah. And we're a little behind on chat, so you probably heard my spiel.
There are no available
Right.
There are no geckos available, man. They're all holdbacks.
They're all holdbacks for now,
If
but
ever
best
you
believe
make
they
it
will
to
be.
Colorado Springs, we will be your first visitors. I'm going on vacation to Colorado
Are
in a
you
couple
really?
weeks. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's where
where
I'm
Whitney's
going.
family's all from.
I'm gonna
Real
go
quick,
see my grandma.
we have 2 ribbon snakes for sale right now. $50 each. Baby ribbon snakes. Unfortunately, shipping is $50. So it's $100 if I have to ship it to you, but it's $50 if you're local here in Arizona. We have 2 babies that we're shipping. And then we have a couple Doom Rolls boas that we're gonna ship as soon as they take their first meals. They're healthy.
I need the spelling for that.
They're healthy, but if you want to buy them, they're about 2 months old but haven't taken their first meals. Doom Rolls boas are notorious for not eating for the first 2 to 3 months of their life, but they're healthy. So if you want to take that chance on buying an animal that hasn't eaten in 2 months, feel free to. But we're going to have Doom Rolls boas that we're selling soon. We have ribbon snakes available right now. Tegus will be available next month. And possibly we might be downsizing our collection. We might be selling our adult Doom Rolls breeders. We might be selling our Savannah monitors. We might be selling our bearded dragons. So stay tuned for that because I really want to focus on leopard geckos, ball pythons, and tegus to be my top 3. And right now it's really tough time-wise and space-wise to accomplish everything I want to accomplish. I'm getting the times. You have to show them what you're doing. I'm getting the pull. Get him out of there, coach.
So somebody said to name one of the geckos.
I like that.
Akai Ryu. Well, while you were talking, I googled it. That is a Venus flytrap.
Is it really? I thought that was 2 names, Ryu and Akai, but it has to be Akai Ryu.
I googled it, and it gave me Venus flytraps. If we have a gecko that's
I bet you
super
it's an
fighty-
anime thing. Akai Ryu sounds anime.
Yeah, it sounds scientific. For plants.
Brooke is very much into anime, so all
Yep.
you anime fans out there,
The Venus flytrap, Akai Ryu, carnivorous plant nursery.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. It looks pretty ferocious.
It's the Venus flytrap, Akai Ryu is Japanese for red dragon. So if we
Really?
have a bitey tangerine,
or one that's kind of more red, yeah. Honeydew, are you threatening Honeydew to change her name?
No, I'm just pointing at Honeydew.
Honeydew's such a sweet name, but
she's not living up to it tonight.
Not living up to it.
All right, let's see. Did a DIY background for my gecko because they don't like it all glass.
Yeah, you're right. They don't like the all glass.
I cut out Lion King and other Disney book pictures and taped them on the back of the tank.
That's great, Chase.
I hope they don't get scared from jumping into the glass and seeing Mufasa.
King Omari, yeah, if you're ever down in Arizona, let us know. I mean, Brooke is really like the one help that we've needed for now, but Brooke has life plans of her own, and we don't know what way it's going to take her and how long she's going to be available with us. So at some point, we might be looking for more trustable help. Trustable, knowledgeable, learnable help.
Oh, like more people. I thought you meant like more trustable than me. I was about to get offended.
There's no one more trustable than Noodles.
I found me another ember and also can't wait to show you the blood Tremper Sunglow I ordered from the Urban Reptile.
Yeah,
nice, Derek.
I've been meaning to buy from Urban Reptile. They got good stuff. But
and then you already read that one. About some breeding enigmas. I have a girl that is in her 3rd year. Breast producer I have and has never shown syndrome. None of her offspring have ever shown that I'm aware of as well. I mean, I guess kind of similar situation to what we had tonight, right? With Nelliel?
Yeah.
The white and yellows?
Yeah, Enigma's way worse than white and yellow.
Yeah, no, I know, but...
Yeah, I think with the Enigma, responsible breeding is definitely needed. If you start to notice issues that become life-threatening, for example, the reason that this is just my reason. I don't judge anybody that has enigmas. I'm supportive of you and what you're doing and I'm supportive of responsible breeding. But I kind of got turned off from enigmas when I had an enigma that got so stressed that anytime I put food in the tank, she would spin around in circles and she eventually passed away and could never eat on her own. So because of that, I told myself that I would no longer work with enigmas. Now, catch-22 is I'm working with lemon frost, which is arguably even worse than enigmas for what some people. And white. Now, I've never had an issue with white and yellows, but some people have, right? So I think it just comes down to the responsibility issue as far as if you start to notice issues with your breeding stock, then you might want to consider stopping or not inbreeding to heighten those issues. And you also want to let your customers know that, hey, this is an Enigma gecko that I'm selling you. Enigma geckos are known for sometimes exhibiting neurological defects that make them stressed, that make them spin, that make them not eat. And there's always a chance that you might encounter this if you buy this gecko from me. To me, that's responsible selling. And if the person still says, yes, I'll take it, then okay, you've came to a contract with the person, you've came to an agreement. So that's kind of my stance on Enigma, white and yellow, and lemon frost. As long as you're as responsible as you can be and you're upfront with your customers, then it's okay, you know?
All right, any fat tails in the future? Well, I think we have enough going on.
Yeah, I've debated whether I want to get into fat tails, but for now, just leopard geckos.
Naruto and 7 Deadly Sins, name one of them Meliodas. Okay, I'm naming things based off of what just randomly hits me at the time. I have a list that I'm going to read off once I get caught up with chat to let you guys know all the names that I have right now. I'm only naming the babies.
Just kidding. That was a joke. I'm confused. I didn't understand that question, but you did, and I'm confused why you
Naruto is an anime, 7 Deadly Sins is also an anime.
I was so confused. I was like,
Meliodas is the main character of 7 Deadly Sins.
I was like, that question made no sense to me, but Brooke just interpreted it like she understands completely what... Okay.
I'm a collector of carnivorous plants, but I'm planning to collect leopard geckos too. I already have 2 super hypo tangerine carrot tail balls.
You have to say...
aren't those the 2 that we were talking about earlier that were the siblings that you were thinking about breeding?
Yeah, you have to say...
Do you have any mammals? He has a cat.
TC Tib, but you can't say the sh and then add the T sound because then they'll demonetize us. So you have to say sh TC Tib. That's what it's called. Sh TC Tib.
I'm not gonna do that. Do you have any mammals?
What would Naruto do? Is that his name?
Naruto?
What would Naruto do? He would say it.
No,
Okay.
he wouldn't. He really wouldn't.
We have a cat
He
who's
has a cat.
outside with my wife Whitney right now because we like to babysit her.
And I got a rat.
Yeah, she has a rat named Ratthew.
Ratthew.
Not Matthew.
I had a dog.
Ratthew.
But she
Tell him where you
passed
got the
away.
rat from. Yeah. Well, tell him about your dog first, because that's.
Well, okay. I had a dog that I had to put down recently. Her name was Pepper. I got her when I was 7, and we just had to put her down like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And you were very sad, right? Like you didn't even. Did you even go to work?
I
that's
left work early every single day, and I had
Yeah.
a breakdown at work every single day for the first week and a half.
Yep. Yep. Brooke was very sad. I remember.
I couldn't even. I mean,
You have pictures?
no, I've got her dog tag in my pocket.
Oh, look at that.
I don't go anywhere without it.
That's sweet.
Super scratched up. This was her old one. My dad has her one that she had before she
See?
passed, but
This is the heart of Brooke. This is why we love having her here. Very caring for the animals.
and then my rat
Yeah, where'd you get the rat?
the rat was a feeder rat that was supposed to be eaten by a snake. But okay, very first stream that I was on.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
first stream. It was like Meet Brooke or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Meet
first
Brooke.
stream that I was on.
Meet
we were-
Brooke. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I know. It was
But-
called that.
but
And then it was Brooke is Back, which is a tie-in to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And now
Yeah.
today is Brooke is Bright? What is it?
I don't know. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's just look at
It was, this was a tie-in to Star Wars, which
Brooke Strikes Again.
Brooke Strikes Again. This might ruin Brooke for all you guys. She's never watched the Star Wars series.
Don't get mad at me. I don't have personal time. Anyway, back to the rat. Back to the rat, because that's what we were talking about. Okay, I was going through the bucket of rats looking at all of them, because I'd never actually seen rats in person. And there was this little rat that I thought it had a missing eyeball, and therefore
It kind of looked like it.
Yeah,
a
it
lot,
looked like its
yeah.
eye was just like gone.
It's very bloodshot, almost like caved in looking.
It had like
and
a bunch of swelling,
squinty.
like the eye got poked out,
Yeah.
basically.
And you liked it. You took an
But
affection to it.
The way I stated it was he's defective, therefore I like him.
Yes.
And he did not be fed off to snakes because in case there was an eye
You
infection.
picked them up. Yeah. Brooke liked him, so we decided to keep him, and then
Yeah, basically I kept him. His name is Ratthew. Maybe he'll be a guest on one of these streams. I will always say it will be the last year of breeding this year, so she will be retired after that. Oh yeah, the Enigma. So last year for the Enigma. What is the issue with white and yellow? Same thing. It can cause neurological issues, the spinning, stressing easily, sometimes issues eating.
Now, we don't know if this is correlated, but we bred a white and yellow male this year
To a possible white
to
and
a
yellow female.
possible white and yellow female. And we were looking through the rack today. What was her name?
Nellie L.
So Brooke was here just like 3 days ago.
I was here on
Nellie L was a juvenile leopard gecko that has been growing up just fine for the last 2 months. It was a great size, great weight. Everything's perfect with her.
The only thing that I thought could have been weird was she had like these dark, like green, dark spots.
Coloration.
Yeah, coloration, like.
But it
dark
was
green,
striping, right?
like down the
To
sides.
me, it just looked like unique pattern. To me,
Yeah,
it didn't
just,
look like
It just
anything.
looked like a weird morph, and you know
Right.
what? The sibling is also displaying that weird color.
Right. So she had a sibling we're keeping an eye on. But what happened with Nellie L is we just found her dead right now. 3 days, like Brooke was just there 3 days ago, changed the substrate, changed the food, changed the water. And now 3 days later, perfectly healthy gecko just sitting in there dead. And so
She was halfway out of her hide and just never even climbed out.
What-
Bit her own tongue in half.
that possibly could be tied into white and yellow issues, because what happens when a gecko has issues in its DNA is it could turn into organ issues, skin issues, longevity of life issues. Any of those issues can pop up, neurological issues. So personally, I've never, ever seen white and yellow cause problems in leopard geckos until now, maybe. But I've heard about other people talking about it. So it's on my radar to kind of keep an eye out in my own collection. I've always been a promoter that, hey, in my own collection over the last three to 4 years, I've never seen any white and yellow issues. But right now, was this a white and yellow issue? Was this gecko's life cut short because of some kind of white and yellow syndrome and defective DNA? I don't know, but it's a possibility. You know, it just died out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I need to check the other leopard gecko that died. But we had another baby that spontaneously died.
Oh, really?
It was eating, it was doing fine, it was growing, and it died. Let me see what genetics that baby was.
Okay. And then while he checks that, somebody said that they sent you a picture of the Disney background on your Instagram.
Oh, nice. I can actually check stuff now while I'm doing this.
That's so sad, Brooke. My female reverse striped temporal albino leopard gecko is named Pepper. Yeah,
Oh.
Pepper is a common name. I named her Pepper because she looked like the pepper shaker in the kitchen. I was 7. I didn't have the knack for naming that I do now. Did you end up
The knack
finding
for
out a
naming.
shipping price for my location? I'm sorry,
is that
Esteban. We
the-
didn't see where your location was.
Is that Gecko shipping or rack shipping? Because I had somebody ask me how much it would be to ship them a rack. But most Gecko shipping is just a flat rate of $50. And let me tell you why.
Why'd you mention it?
what?
Everyone's blowing me up for not seeing Star Wars now.
Told you.
I already deal with it every freaking day.
I already deal with it.
I mean, the Star Wars thing can be fixed in like a weekend. Okay, but seriously, how have you never seen Star Wars? There have been like
It's all
11
in good
movies and a
jest.
couple series. Hey, Brooke, I empathize with you. I have my mom and dad's dog tag. Too long story. My male raptor's parents were Snow Raptor x Dreamsicle. I haven't seen any abnormal movements yet, but the enigma in its genes.
So talking about possible weak genetics, Brooke. The gecko that died recently, it was in the house for housed for a couple weeks, eating fine, doing fine, and just died out of nowhere. That was a lemon frost crossed with a Afghanicus. It was our only one.
The Afghanicus, what you had an issue with before with the not eating one?
No, we haven't actually hatched any Afghanicuses this year. We've had a tough time. We've tried to breed.
I remember that one. I think I found that one in the incubator potentially.
Maybe. But we've had a tough time breeding. We had like 5 or 6 adult female Afghanicuses, and we really wanted to breed Black Knight into Afghanicus this year, but I can't remember if like the male didn't pair or the eggs didn't hatch, but that didn't go well. So then I paired Lemon Frost the Afghanicus, because we're working on the Lemon Frost project and outcrossing it to subspecies, and only one baby hatched out of like all 6 of the females. The rest of the eggs are like infertile, and this is the one baby that died.
I just thought of something. It's
What?
a good thing this tag is really scratched up because I basically showed the world my phone number.
Oh really? Oh no. And they'll be
Let's
like,
see. Star Wars, fix it. So
There it
easy.
is.
Okay, you know
fix
what?
it so
My boyfriend
easy.
wants me to watch Star Wars. His best
Really?
friend wants me to watch Star Wars. We've joked about getting like a cabin in the woods and isolating ourselves and spending a whole weekend watching all the Star Wars movies because I'm uncultured since I haven't seen it. My dad did not like sci-fi anything.
Oh, there
and
you go. So that explains a lot.
We lost connection.
Okay. She's only 20, still living at home, so that explains a lot why she would have a lot of influence by her dad, TV-wise.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I just wasn't allowed to have any TV control. Okay.
But I'm still surprised you didn't watch it with DJ or anybody else.
Yeah, but he wants me to watch it. It's just we're both busy.
Doesn't DJ go to the movies to watch Star Wars, or? And then you didn't.
He has Disney Plus and HBO Max.
Oh, gotcha.
He watches that stuff at home. Okay, now that we've caught up the chat, I'm going to take you guys on an adventure. I've been naming the babies. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? I have a list of names.
It's a long list.
Okay.
It's a good list to be on.
So, if any of these names catch your eye and you want to see what the baby looks like, if I haven't shown them already, just comment the name and say you want to see them, and we will try and get to them, hopefully. So we have Candy Corn, Boba, Lego, Techna, Pixel, Flip, Daisy, Shrimp, Bubbles, Natsume, Nelliel, who is the one that passed away, Cantaloupe and Honeydew, Crow, Peaches and Cream, Cookie, Plum, Meringue, Streusel, Cam, Poppy, Sunny, and then one of you guys asked me to name that baby Cinnamon, so I named it Cinnamon.
I think I totally forgot to mark that Nelliel passed away.
Yeah, you did. I think you will like the second set of 3 movies that came out after. Oh my gosh, stop trying to get me to watch Star Wars. We're talking about geckos. This is a gecko conversation.
You really don't like Star Wars, huh?
I just don't like when people harass me about it.
Oh. It's just
Let's
been
see
good
Honey
fun.
do the. You already saw Honey do the Velociraptor.
They want you to get bit.
I don't want to get bit for a third time. And maybe Bubbles. Yes, let's get Bubbles.
There you go. I'm gonna go check the genetic.
And you know what?
code.
I missed one of them. There's another one named Ichigo.
I like
that one.
Ichigo. Actually.
Ichigo means strawberry.
Ichigo reminds me of Ichiro, which is a Japanese baseball player. And since I love baseball, that's one of my favorites.
Technopixel. Ducky, Bingo. Oh yeah, and we have one named Bingo and Ducky.
Bingo, what's his name?
Oh, found Bubbles. Bubbles is with Natsume. So Bubbles and Natsume are clutch mates.
I don't appreciate this. Also, there's an E at the end. Trying to get the lid off. Okay. Okay. Are you guys ready? These two are cute. These two are cute. You're gonna appreciate them, hopefully. Oh, heck. Wait, how much can I move this? How much can I move this? Testing the cord. Oh, that's my face. Okay, here we go. These are the babies. These are the siblings. This one is Natsume. And this one's Bubbles. Boop. And this one's Natsume. Boop. Natsume acts scared of me, and then I touch her and she gets happy. Very soon later. But that's Bubbles. Bubbles is a bold stripe. Alright, let's see what else we got going on. Guys, let's wholesomely harass Brooke about Star Wars some more. I support the Star Wars names presented by Noah. No, Luke and Jar Jar have not been used yet. Is Bubbles a bold stripe? Yes, they're both bold stripes. Here, back to the babies. Here are Bubbles and Natsume. They're actually both genetically bold stripes. But they're cute. Okay, any other babies that you guys want to see? Let's put this back.
Tell me, yeah, because we're probably ending the stream in like 15 minutes, so get in now. Oh, but by the way, we do live streams now. We've been really consistent with it. And I've been doing a live stream every Monday, 7 to 9 Pacific Standard Time. Basically the last like month and a half. So tune in.
Bubbles. Anybody else y'all want to see? We've got, just looking at things, we've got Boba, Candy Corn, Lego, Techna, Pixel,
I don't
Flip.
remember
I
you
named
naming.
Flip. I named Flip because I was
threw
holding
him.
him and he jumped out of my hand and he did a flip before he landed.
Yeah, he jumped.
He did a flip. He was
He-
running really fast.
Dropped. No.
But yeah, Flip and Daisy, Shrimp,
But
Ducky,
who is
Bingo,
who's
Ichigo.
Pixel? Why did you name Pixel?
Because the spots look pixelated.
Okay.
Widow. I'm just reading things off the containers right now. Cinnamon. Tail. Streusel, Meringue, Cam. Meringue is a lemon frost. Poppy. Cantaloupe, Honeydew. Sunny. Crow. Peaches and Cream. Plum and Cookie.
I really like Peaches. Show him Peaches.
Show 'em Peaches. Peaches looks a lot like Bubbles, actually.
Oh yeah, it
Same
does.
Not alone. Do you have any super snow eclipse we
How did
can
the-
see?
These guys just got water today. They flipped it. That's unusual. They usually
Yesterday.
don't flip
They
their
were part of
water.
my. They were part of my first day,
Oh,
so they did
yeah.
that Thursday.
What's the star again over there?
Star means keep an eye on them.
Can you
because
put?
they're
Can you
special.
just give them water? Oh, that's from that. Gotcha. Yeah, can you just give them water? It's interesting. I normally don't ever see those Gatorade caps flipped, but just today I found 2 of them flipped.
Because
But
it's Natsume. Natsume's sassy.
yeah, one was from a bigger gecko though.
Well, yeah, big geckos have pouch.
Yeah, but
that's
those
not so bad.
those two
That's
geckos are
sassy.
pretty small.
Okay. They asked
Ooh,
for
let's
the
show,
super snow eclipse.
Super Snow Eclipse?
They asked for a super snow eclipse.
Right there. Lucky. Lucky. Yeah.
Here, this one's your child. You should.
You said this is like your favorite.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
This-
because it looks derpy.
Yeah, this coloration though, you said.
This baby's derpy.
It has armpit bubbles.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. So that's a Super Snow Eclipse. I don't know if you can
Look at the anger.
I don't know if you can see it, Brooke, but it actually has red slits in its eyes. It looks really, really interesting. Like, look at it face on. It has red
Tail.
slits in its pupils.
Okay, come here. Let me look at your face. It does. What the cuteness?
Isn't that really cool?
Cuteness.
So, Super Snow Eclipses. I don't know if every Super Snow Eclipse will have this, but
Very
they have
chill,
red slits
very
in the
huggy.
eyes.
These adults are trying. What are the key identifiers for knowing a white and yellow hatchling visually? Example, possibly.
Yeah, so actually you just showed one.
Yeah,
Bubbles and Natsume. Can you bring them back out? That's actually a good
Let me grab a different one.
but I don't know which ones are white because most of our white and yellows are actually labeled bold because they come from a bold white and yellow line. You know
Daisy.
what I mean?
We're bringing out Daisy.
All right, let me see if Brooke is accurate in her white and yellow judgment.
Because the white goes up the side.
The white does go up the side.
And we've got Flip.
Sometimes that's not always a telltale sign, but in some cases.
That's Flip.
Now this is a pretty subtle change, but I think this is good. Show off Flip. Yeah, you could just bring him here.
I was just gonna camera on him. He's in the dirt.
So this is Flip. Flip, I don't believe. Yeah, Flip, I don't believe to be a white and yellow right now. And you can see the general color of Flip is kind of like an orangish yellow. Now, if you notice, the pattern starts high on him too. But what are some differences that you see between Flip and this guy color-wise?
A lot darker yellows.
A lot darker. So bring out this guy now.
This
Now,
one's Daisy.
Daisy, I do believe, is a white and yellow. And here's how you can tell. White.
Daisy!
Don't blame
You're
Daisy
supposed to hold
for
on.
your dropping.
You're supposed to hold on.
So-
Come on, baby. Here, go in there and relax for a
Here,
second.
you take Flip.
Okay, hi, Flip. Flip.
Now,
What?
one difference between Daisy and Flip, Daisy is much more white contrast. So sometimes the really, really bright colors don't come out for white and yellow until later on down the line. But what you will see as babies, you'll see a lot more white contrast. Like you can see see if you could show Flip's head, but there's a lot more white contrast around. Nice one.
Oh, Daisy.
There's a lot more white contrast around Daisy's
I have both of them.
around Daisy's
The
head
children.
area.
The children. Okay.
So there's a lot more white contrast around the gecko that Brooke is holding versus the gecko that I'm holding. You can see the gecko that I'm holding has a lot of dark coloration to it and just an overall darker color.
babies, guys. Babies are hard to handle.
Yeah. But this gecko, you could see white down the back. You could see more yellow coloration and a lot of white around the head. And a lot of times for white and yellows, the white will be really, really dominant in the pattern. Like it just shows more whiteness in the pattern. So perfect example going on here.
I was gonna see if Ducky or Bingo. Oh,
More whiteness in
Ducky's
my
white.
left hand, less whiteness in my right hand. You see
I
that?
brought down 2 more babies.
White and yellow.
I'll put those 2 back. Go ahead and
Okay.
open this one up.
that's Ducky and Bingo.
Let's see if Ducky and Bingo are. Man, this water evaporated in just one day. It's
I
so.
did it Thursday.
No, it's not you. It's just hot in here. I think I did it. I think.
did that Thursday.
No, I went back after you and redid everything.
Why? Am I not good enough?
No, it's because I try to hit him every 3 days. Remember?
It's Ducky and it's Bingo.
We try to give our geckos fresh food and fresh water every 3 days. Now Ducky, this is Ducky.
Yeah.
it looks like they're both going in shed, so they're a little dark. But I do believe Ducky is a white and yellow, and you can kind of tell. The one that Brooke is holding just has a lot brighter contrast, a lot whiter contrast, and more yellow contrast compared to the one that I'm holding, which is more dark and black, you know, contrast. So
We're gonna put Ducky back.
the basic way that you tell a white and yellow from a non-white and yellow is white and yellows are going to be a little bit brighter, cleaner, crisper coloration, and also more white coloration. A lot of times the white will start up, like the white from the belly will ride up higher onto the gecko's sides and onto the gecko's, you know, like shoulder and back area. And also there will be a lot more white around the head.
I wonder if
So
Lego.
we're going to do one more, guys, and then call it.
Okay, Lego or candy corn?
Oh, Lego. I saw candy corn earlier today. I don't know which one Lego is.
With Lego.
Lego is not a white and yellow, I don't believe. It's tough to tell. I don't believe Lego is a white and yellow, but you can see Lego still has some bright yellow coloration. So when you're talking about white and yellow, it's not just bright coloration you're looking for, but you're looking for enhanced patches of white, almost like reduced pattern. A lot of the pattern kind of dissolves away with white and yellow geckos, and you're left with more of the white background for the gecko. This gecko has full patterning riding down its sides and riding down its back. It didn't lose a lot of patterning to that white color, so that's why I believe that this gecko, even though it's bright, I don't think it's white and yellow right now at this point. Ichigo.
You want to see Ichigo?
No. Actually, why did you name him Ichigo? I don't want to.
Ichigo means strawberry.
We'll save Ichigo. Strawberry? So it looks like a strawberry?
It's a tangerine.
Okay, last one, Brooke. This is it, guys. Last one, Ichigo.
Also, because Ichigo is the main character in one of my favorite animes, and Ichigo has orange hair.
What anime is that? Sail the Ship? Isn't there an anime that's really popular for a music track?
I don't know, but Ichigo's from Bleach.
Bleach?
Oh, Ichigo Shetty.
Oh, this is Ichigo. Brooke likes Ichigo. Ichigo is kind of tangerine with a little bit of lavender, kind of purplish coloration. So this is Ichigo, and now I know who Ichigo is.
Every stream, we're going to slowly show you more of the children of
Yes.
names.
And that's another reason why I'm glad Brooke is here, because she names everything, and I know you guys are about the names, and I just didn't... Yeah, I didn't have a lot of time and stuff to like give to the names, but when you have names for the geckos, it's a lot easier to relate to. People like it on stream. So as soon as Brooke comes back, we'll say our goodbyes along with what's your dog's name, Brooke? Pepper.
Stop! You're giving everyone my phone number.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just meant that Pepper would be with us.
My phone
I'm pretty sure this phone number is illegible. It's illegible.
Really? I can make that
yeah,
up.
you can see
I
it,
can
but
make
on
that
camera
up.
not. But
Hopefully.
what do you think, Brooke? We'll call it there.
Check
It's
the
been
text.
a long while, huh?
Let's see if anybody else has said anything. Wait.
Oh yeah. See if we missed any questions.
Love you guys. Thanks for the great stream. Sorry if you were upset, Brooke. Amazing geckos. I totally will purchase some of the geckos when you have them.
You were upset about the Star Wars thing. Brooke's just
I get harassed about it a lot. It's become an annoyance for me.
it's an annoyance. But know that we love you and we don't we harass you because we love you. Noodle. I promise. No, I shouldn't say
Should I
that.
go get the bat?
The bat?
Yeah, softball bag.
The bag? The softball bag?
Okay, bye guys.
No, okay. Remember that thing that we watched where that lady was beating the husband with the bat?
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you next Monday. And if not, if I'm able to do another live stream later this week, I will let you guys know ahead of time and pop in there. Thanks to Brooke and all her help. I vote bat.
We'll name one of the Black Knights bat.
Yeah, we should. About Catwoman and bat. But thank you guys. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next video. And peace. Bye.
No more noodles.